Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for being with us on this special day for my family and me. Thank you, Debbie, for your introduction, but most importantly, thank you for all that you do every day to make our lives better. We really appreciate it very much, more than you will ever know. I thank God every day that I met Debbie Oakley and that God brought her into my life, and our two wonderful sons, Mac and Nick. And thank you, boys, for being here with us on this quick trip to Cheyenne and back home. Thank the legislators who are here, my colleagues from the House and those from the Senate, and all you friends and supporters out there. It's wonderful to see you. You know, people make a campaign. And we are blessed to have friends like you to rally with us today and support and work for us. And it's very nice to have you here today and to join us as we kick off this great adventure into Wyoming. I'm here today to begin the conversation with the people of Wyoming about what they want this state to look like when they hand it down to the next generation. There's no place on earth like Wyoming. There is nowhere else that Deb and I would rather raise our family and call home at the end of each day. But we honor our state not just by talking about what's great about it, but also by working to meet challenges we face in Wyoming head on. With that in mind, I stand before you ready to do my part. Today, I declare myself a candidate for governor of the state of Wyoming. I want your support. I need your help, and I ask for your vote. I have the full support of my family behind me. I have been encouraged by many of you in this room and many people from around every corner of the state to run for governor. And I appreciate that encouragement. Without the support of my family and friends, I would not be standing before you today. My campaign will be about an optimistic vision for Wyoming that tackles the challenges in front of us with the values that carried us to where we are today. Values like faith, honesty, integrity, hard work, and respect. Those same values guided me growing up, in business, as a freshman legislator, as Speaker of the House, and they will guide me throughout this campaign. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity I've had to serve as Speaker of the House of Representatives. Over the past 2 sessions, we have passed responsible budgets, reduced spending by nearly $1 billion, and protected Wyoming's reserves for these uncertain times. We took steps forward on small business investment and job creation, protected our energy jobs and economy, and initiated programs to lower the costs of health care. We made hard decisions to protect state retirement benefits at a time when many state retirement plans are at risk. I do not enter into this race lightly. I know how hard political campaigns can be, and I expect this one to be tough as well. But serving the state of Wyoming and its people is one of my highest goals. People serve what they believe in many varied and different ways. I happen to come from a family where public service has been a way of life and very important. I believe very strongly in that ethic, and I believe that our future and the future of our children and grandchildren demands sacrifice, and I am willing to make that sacrifice. I don't have all the answers, and I will never pretend that I will, or that I do. If elected governor, I will surround myself with the best and brightest minds I can find who are also willing to serve and sacrifice for this state. I am a fiscal conservative, and I understand very well Wyoming's budget and the policies and priorities behind the budget. I believe that Wyoming's energy-dependent economy will continue to go through boom and bust cycles, and the state must continue to place a priority on long and short-term savings. The only way to balance our budget and keep taxes low for Wyoming families and small businesses and allow for job growth. I believe that the current Endangered Species Act is being used by the federal government to limit and control oil and gas development and stands in the way of economic growth in order to protect certain wildlife. Our government can do better. It can protect both nature and promote growth at the same time. I will continue to ensure that our counties, our conservation districts, and our cooperating agencies have the authority and support they need to participate as effectively as possible in federal land use planning decisions. It's critically important that these entities have the ability to participate and make good decisions and influence those decisions, because those decisions influence what happens in energy production and development and recreation on public lands. I understand well the relationship between cheap and available energy, skilled labor, multiple use of resources, environmental protection, and hands-off government to create and maintain the thriving businesses and jobs. This past session, I pushed for focus on job creation, economic development, reducing health insurance and healthcare costs, and fighting federal intrusion. And I will continue those efforts. I am an innovator. I have led efforts to create a regional discussion about energy development and production and environmental protection in an effort to preserve jobs. I have sponsored legislation to determine how the purchase of health insurance across state lines can make health insurance more available and affordable to Wyoming citizens. Reducing the cost of health care for small businesses will reduce costs for employers so they can create jobs. I know how to work with key leaders in Wyoming, in the legislature, Democrat and Republican alike, just as I've worked with our governor to solve key issues, like states' rights under the 10th Amendment, jobs, reducing health care costs, and balancing budgets. I sponsored a budget amendment in the 2009 session that created the Wind Energy Task Force. We came out of the 2010 session with 2 good bills from that task force, and also with a plan and a better understanding of where Wyoming is headed with wind energy development and its impacts upon our landowners, local governments, and the state we love. Wyoming is still a land of great opportunity. We have a natural environment second to none. We have mineral wealth that fills our state and local coffers and funds our schools and keeps our personal taxes low. We have abundant wildlife and public lands upon which we can recreate and hunt and fish, and we are very blessed. Well, what I can provide as governor is a passion for improving what we have, for providing the best educational opportunities for our children, to protect our outdoor life and sporting opportunities, to create good jobs that will last, to even out our boom and bust economy, to provide opportunities for business and job opportunities for young people so they will stay in the state, and help us build a future together, for safe communities and schools, and for making sure that individual and property rights are respected. I have that passion, I have that drive, and I have the experience. We must set clear, measurable goals for education, job growth and creation, economic development, wildlife protection and public land access, and chart sensible courses to achieve those goals. I strongly value individual liberty and will fiercely defend it. I will continue to lead and innovate to ensure that the future of our energy economy is driven by Wyoming and its neighboring states and not controlled by federal bureaucrats. I will lead the Wyoming way, not Washington's. I will help create jobs, not government debt for our children. I will practice fiscal discipline, not just preach it. Wyoming will live within its means. I understand Wyoming's people, its culture, its businesses and industries, and its government. And I am ready to lead Wyoming into the next decade. I bring a strong work ethic, leadership I'm almost done, Mac. Jeez, Dad, how long are you going to go? Sit down with Nick. I bring a strong work ethic, leadership experience, and stability to the job. Let there be no doubt. I am in this campaign to win, and we will win the right way. I will run a positive race that looks forward, not back. We will talk about ways to lift Wyoming up, not tear our opponents down. We will work to move Wyoming forward together, not to pit ourselves against one another. You may hear many promises in this campaign, but the most important promise I can make is one that I made to myself. At the end of this race, win or lose, I will be proud of the campaign I ran. I will run a campaign that focuses on creating the best possible future for our children and our grandchildren. and you will have an idea of how I would lead this state. I will run a campaign that will make you and Wyoming proud. I'm humbled to speak to you today as a candidate for governor for the state of Wyoming. I again ask for your vote, and I would be very honored to receive it. Thank you very much for being here. God bless Wyoming. God bless Thanks, everybody. It's really nice to see you. This is a lot of fun. We're off on a great adventure. This will be a wonderful 5 months. We'll see what happens in August. But thank you for being here. Appreciate your support, and we'll look out for you and put you to work. All right. Thank you again.